Responsive tee times, submitting a lottery request on a mobile device. Because this is a responsive module, again, the user experience in terms of creating a tee time request does not differ that much from creating a tee time request on a desktop computer. Once again, you're simply selecting a date from the date scroll by either touching and dragging the dates along or using the select date to pick the date you'd like to play on. In this case, I'm looking to make that same 1 p.m. request for July 31st on the Royal Govan Golf Course. So I need not change any of my filters. I can simply, again, scroll through the tee sheet to find the time I'd like to play, or the time I'd like to request in this case, and simply click on the time or click on the Quick Book option to quickly make a reservation. You can see that currently registered this is a lottery time, so I know that by making a request I'm not going to be able to book it. I'm only submitting a request to play at that time. Much like we saw in the booking screen, the orientation of the request screen is basically the same, except we've now flipped what was on the left to the top and what was on the right to the bottom. So everything fits neatly within the narrower screen we're working with on the mobile device. I can still select the time at which I'd like to play or indicate the earliest and latest times that are acceptable. So similar to what we did before, we're going to set the earliest time at 11 o'clock and the latest time at 3 o'clock. I'm still going to add myself to the waitlist, and I'm still looking to play 18 holes. Again, if your club supports group booking, you will be able to select the number of lottery groups here from the lottery request screen, which will add additional groups that you can play with. Of course, if you're not eligible to make group bookings, then that option will not appear. Within the player section, we're just adding players, and we'll do this from our buddies and groups this time. I can simply click on buddies and groups. I can add Matt Betts quickly to my reservation. I can add another member. I can add Scott Taylor, again, by typing his name into the search and selecting him to add him to my reservation. And finally, I'm going to add a guest, Robert Lamanna. Let's not do it in all caps. And add his email address to make sure he gets an email notification should we receive a tee time. Click on add. Now all 4 players have been added to my reservation. I can still modify their transportation, caddy, and rental club options by opening up the player options and selecting the option I want to modify. And once I click away, it'll close it up. I still have the option, if your club allows additions to existing requests, to specify who can and cannot. In this case, I'm going to leave it at no one since I filled up the time anyway, and I'm going to submit my request. And upon doing so, the request has been submitted to the Pro Shop, and I'll get a confirmation on screen indicating the date and time, the earliest and latest acceptable times, my confirmation number, all of the players and their preferences on the request, as well as the number of holes, and then the options to cancel, print, sync to my calendar, email, or view in my bookings. And that's how you create a tee time lottery request on a mobile device using responsive tee times.